Hey, welcome to the dark side of the internet. I'm talking about October surprise. And so let's talk about what happens when someone joins your digital product business. They go over to Stripe, they file a inappropriate charge, and where that actually leaves you and some things you can put in place to avoid any issues, any friction in your business. So let's go ahead and hop into it. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Dr. TK. Welcome back. And so this is our little cozy corner of the internet. I told our community that we would start doing a October surprise where we talk about the other side, the dark side of having an expansive business. And I don't want to scare you, but I do want to prepare you so that you can know how to set up certain things in your business to protect yourself. And so I told my clients, make sure that they have their tea. I have a little Starbucks cup, little mix matchy right here, but I'm drinking some water, not tea. I'm actually saving my tea for later because my son is downstairs, y'all, and I need some energy. And we are going to hang out on the cozy side of the internet while I fold some clothes. And I'm going to do a little story time and walk y'all through some real situations that have happened in business, how I had to keep my cool as a psychologist and keep striving and opening up my programs to serve my customers. Yeah. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm actually going to share one that happened by one particular person, and it happened twice within a year. And so I have a digital product business where I have courses, I have memberships, I have hybrid programs, and they help mental health providers either open up or grow an existing private practice. We also have had memberships where people come in and they focus on mindset, growth. We talk about building a life first business, but then we also have had some digital product streams of income where we specifically talk about digital products and things. And so this actually happened in our private practice program. Some of you may be familiar with it, called DTA. So in DTA, typically the way that we launch it, and this is very important because of how thorough I am, it always comes from a learning experience, especially during the onboarding process, because people have a lot of questions. And so I've been launching this program out loud, meaning not word of mouth, but like online ads and stuff like that, for going on 6 years now. And we have launched at this point over 40 cohorts. We have served a little over 400 mental health providers across, at this point, 40 plus states, 4 countries. And so I'm really excited about that. And, you know, I never thought that business would be simple, but I also didn't think that, I don't know, maybe my husband says sometimes I could probably be a little bit,
too much in the Barbie land, a little naive.
Where I think that everybody has integrity like I do. And, that's just not the case, even if you're a provider. So when I launch these programs, it's very rare that it'll be a one-time occurrence in terms of them coming across the information during an open enrollment period. So we do what's called boot camps, retreats. Those are multi-day events that we go live. The replays are available for an extra week during open enrollment. And we also usually have some type of Facebook or Telegram group or Zoom calls, or send me a DM for people to ask questions. But we're very explicit with what the program does and does not do. So for example, we are very explicit to say it is for a mix of those who are starting a private practice and for those who are growing. Why? Because we focus on systems and marketing, and both levels need that. So we also give them a lot of case examples of clients who've been through the program. And then we also exclusively say it does not include one-on-one coaching. It is group coaching only. That does not mean that you cannot get your individualized needs met. You just have to show up to the call and or submit your question. We have a private podcast feed inside the portal. We also have a Facebook group. So we pretty much have covered all bases for allowing somebody to answer their question based off their personality style and based off their schedule. Okay. So keep all of that in mind. And the sales page is long, but informative. It's just not long with junk. Okay. So we have a lot of FAQs on there. So one person joined the program, I want to say about 2 years ago. And they made, I think in the beginning, it was like 3 to 4 payments. Okay. This is a high ticketed program. And they get a lot of access to me. They get unlimited access to the portal. They also get updated information with the portal. And the real big perk that is actually about to go away soon for the next year, 2026, is that they get unlimited access to come back as an alumni. Most programs, after 12 months, you get kicked out the portal and the live access. Some programs, you can keep the portal, but you will never ever see the coach again unless you invest in something else. And so I knew that building out a solo private practice, and also just based off how the market can go and fluctuate and how we can evolve, we may need some refreshers. And so I allowed people to start coming back from the middle of 2020 up until now, meaning I've been very gracious not to have some type of recurring fee if you keep access. I think that's pretty generous. So I get a random email, and I say random because I had never got it before. So I got not in this program. I got a random email from Stripe saying that somebody filed a dispute. And I'm like, everything is on auto pay, meaning I don't get any credit cards. And this is why I don't do this. I don't get any credit cards on paper. You go through the process. So this is the sales process. You go to the multi-day, boot camp. You're able to ask all your questions because we do enrollment a week after the boot camp, which means that you have about at minimum 7 days up to 12 to 14 days to get an understanding of the program, ask me questions, check me out online. And most people come to multiple boot camps before they even join. And so it's very rare that it's somebody who has never seen me or never met me before, because it's a warm-up process and I get it. And so you go from the boot camp and maybe a community for the boot camp to then going to the enrollment page. And it's a lot of information on there. Then you go to the checkout page where you put in your own credit card and it says like check here, or some people have had to sign a contract in the past when we've had this issue. So you can choose. Right now I do terms and conditions because at the end of the day, it is the same as the contract. And we'll just, send people a copy if they want it. So in that terms and conditions, it'll say what our guarantee is, what it is not, what the program includes, what it does not. And then it ultimately helps the student acknowledge this is how I'm going to be successful for myself. This is how I need to show up, etc. So it's a very lengthy but simple terminology contract, right? So the dispute says that the person wanted a refund. At that time, when we did have a refund policy for a specific point in time, they were well beyond like 2.5 months past the refund policy, right? And it was on a signed contract that they signed, not a terms and conditions at the time. So we responded back to Stripe with the dispute. I am a quality assurance person, and that's why I love paperwork, because at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, it covers yourself when there's someone who is not integral. So I went back, looked at how we launched that process, because we keep a data on everything. We look at the history of the person. We look at when they joined, from the time they joined our email list, all the things. And we can see what you saw in our email marketing system. We can see what emails you opened up. We can see what links you clicked. That's the beauty part about email marketing. So we looked at the paper trail, and we also looked at the online portal to see what progress did this person make, and better yet, did they even get access to my intellectual property, right? So they had logged in and made some progress in the portal. So it always baffles me when someone wants something that they've already used and the reason why they're giving doesn't make sense. So I kindly told Stripe, while this person has made 3 to 4 payments, I snapshot all of the access points. I snapshot or downloaded it as a PDF. The confirmation email that was sent, the fact that they opened it, clicked it, and never ever emailed about any type of refund or whatnot, because that was the first thing they said. That's what they said. They said, I'm refusing to give them a refund. And I'm like, they ain't never emailed us. Nor did Stripe give us any type of proof saying that the person had an email trail, right? So I uploaded the contract signed. I uploaded a snapshot of the whole sales page. Damn! I uploaded everything. And within 30 days, Stripe got back to me and said, I won. Hello. So I said, okay, we're good. And we reached out to the person. I'm not a salty, petty ass person.
I mean, I can be if you push that out of me, but it takes a minute.
So, but I mean, that's not who I am, to be honest. So we still, my customer service team and I said, let me just breathe. But let's reach out to the person to see what support they need. Maybe they're just not in a good life space. And sometimes what people do, because we're human, we will take it out on whatever we can, or better yet, let's just say if somebody's going through a financial hardship, they'll go through, let's just say your subscriptions, and you'll say, what am I not using, but I've used? Now, I'm not a Netflix. We have a payment plan, not a subscription plan for this program. And so that I know would get confusing at first, because I know a lot of these platforms, I think they've updated it now, I believe, but it used to still say subscription. That's why in our contract, on the enrollment page, on the sales page, in the emails, we would say, even if the system says when it sends you a reminder for your payment that it's a subscription, it is not a membership. You are signing up for a 12-month payment plan. And on the contract, they actually have to check, like, I'm paying in full, I'm paying via 12-month payment plan. Then they have to sign like 5 times. So that's why I won that claim, I believe. Okay. But Sharp don't really tell you. So moving forward, I thought I was in a clear. The student still was non-responsive to us. And at that point, I don't even believe they were opening up our emails. So I'm going to give or take maybe 3 months. We received another Stripe dispute. Now, at this point, I'm just like,
who's this person?
Because they never came to the call. So I really don't know who they are. And so, we tried to research the person, couldn't find them. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I opened up this dispute, and I'm like, why would Stripe allow them to put in 2? Why they gonna put in 1? And this time it said, I charged their card without their permission. Say what? Now, let me just insert this. What Stripe will do, I don't know if PayPal does this, but what Stripe will do, if there's a dispute, until they find out what the outcome is with the dispute, they will go into your Stripe account or the bank account it's attached to, and you can't disconnect the bank account or you ain't getting no money. And they will put a freeze on that amount of money. So let's just say if in my Stripe account, I had $3,000 that was about to be transferred to my account, they're going to go in and take out $1,332. I think that was the amount or something like that. They're going to remove that amount. So as you could imagine, that becomes a cash flow problem. Now, again, I'm not telling you this to scare you. I just want you to be mentally prepared that not all people are good people. And for me, I've had to learn that, and you'll see in this series, not all providers are created equal in terms of like niceness. I don't want to say personality, but just like niceness. Okay. And so when I saw fraudulent, I was just like,
now this got to be on some BS.
And so I saw the name, and luckily, again, we keep good notes. And so I submitted everything again. You don't know if you're getting the same Stripe person or whoever looks at the claim, the credit card company or whatnot. And they went and held the money again. But now the person that's paid, because it's on automatic payment, they have paid like 2 or 3 additional payments. So now they went and took out the first amount of money plus this money. And I'm just like, okay, y'all playing with my cash flow. And so I can't do anything about it. I submit everything. I lost. I freaking lost. And I made a grievance complaint. And I said, how can I win the first one? Y'all can clearly see this is the same person. But what my belief is, because nobody ever responded, is that it may be a different team, kind of like you messing with the IRS. Different groups of people get your stuff and they don't talk to each other. And I think Stripe may be the middle person. And I don't know if Stripe team is evaluating it, plus the bank. If y'all know, let me know. Or is the bank doing it, and then they'll determine who's at fault and then let Stripe know. Whatever the case may be, I lost. So what did I learn from that lesson? Well, I learned that not all people are created equal. I learned that I'm still not made for everybody. But I also learned a very important lesson, which is, as a business owner, you're going to go through obstacles. And they don't feel good, but I'm still in business. That happened 2+ years ago. I'm still here. I'm still offering the same program. I'm still transforming lives and transforming businesses. And so I also am a pure definition of resilient. Did it pee me off for a minute? Yes. But what do we teach our clients? Pain is temporary. I'm not going to sit in this negative zone, because then that's going to mess up what I'm supposed to be delivering and how I'm supposed to be overflowing and showing up for you, my current customers, my current clients. And I'm not going to let one out of thousands of therapists that I serve a year through CE workshops, through content like this, my podcast, live events, I'm not going to allow all of them to suffer for one little rotten egg over here. And so let me know, what did you learn from this? Because if you have a business, odds are you use Stripe. Okay. And I would also caution you, as a business owner, entrepreneur, it doesn't matter what kind of business you have, right? But if you're a provider, for sure, pay attention, okay? Do unto others what you want others to do unto you, okay? I do believe in karma, and I believe that karma does not have to come back in the same way that it was dished out. But if you are not integral with the investments that you've made, I'm even talking about like your house bills, you know what I'm saying? Your TV bill. If you are not integral to what you set up, but you get really irritated and upset with how things are being dished back at you through your personal life or through your business, this is what I do. Anytime something hostile happens, I look at my whole life and I'm like, I'm not saying, God, that I deserve this, but is there an area in my life or in my business or in my mindset that I need to work on, that I need to fix? And I usually find something in with that. It had nothing to do with finances, but it just did what? It made me pay attention to, well, what policies and procedures do I need to put in place? What documentation and what do I need to say during an enrollment period to make sure that people know what they're locked into? And so when people come into our community, that's why we're really hefty on systems, because I want you to protect yourself. And so with that in mind, if you want to learn how to build a profitable system for your private practice, make sure that you check the description box, because we do have a wait list for our last cohort for the Private Practice Academy. But we are going to welcome one last batch of students, clients for this year. And again, you can be in the beginning phases or you can be in the growth phases, but especially if you want profitable additional streams of income like digital products, consulting business, clinical supervision, group practice, you don't want to build a boat and then abandon it. And then you hop off and go to another boat. The boats are the streams of income, because if the first stream ain't streaming, if it's not in order in a position for you to step away, you're actually going to be doing yourself and your clientele a disservice, because that's how you burn out. That's how you're quote unquote at capacity. That's why you are overwhelmed and you are overstimulated, primarily because you're not keeping yourself in mind and designing a life versus business as you should. You are just focused on a thirst trap, getting money and serving people, which is fine, but you don't want to be like burning yourself out on purpose just because you don't want to slow down and build out systems, okay? And take it from me, learn from me. I've been in business long enough where I am very sure I can help you if you're a mental health provider and you want a profitable solo practice so that you can one day build a group practice, digital products, and all the things. Now, if you feel like I'm solid, okay, and I want to know what is there out there for me, because I don't even want to do group practice at TK, I want to do something else, then I would highly encourage you, check out the Profitable Streams of Income bundle down below. I have 80 plus ways, listen, you can diversify your streams of income. Plus, you will get a bonus resource guide so you can see what systems I use. But also, I'm going to give you a bonus of a launch execution guide. This is more of a entry prerequisite to a digital product course that we had sold. And I'm going to walk you through in an ebook. So you can just like download it, put it on your iPad. And I'm going to walk you through the different launch phases and activities that you want to do when you're launching different streams of income. That is a complete bonus, a gift, if you get the Profitable Streams of Income guide. All right. So if you private practice, get on the bootcamp wait list, and then, or the DTA wait list. It's called Dope Therapist Academy. And then if you are also interested in what are other ways I can diversify my income, just so I can see what is possible beyond one-on-one therapy, definitely right now, get that Profitable Streams of Income guide. Now, I hope that you liked it over here. Let me know what was your best part of the story, and subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you back. Like this video. It does signal to YouTube, because I know it's not a lot of people who address mental health providers for life and business on YouTube the way that I do it. So it does give a push out to other providers who are on this platform to say, hey, you know, we can help you out too in this community. So I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel, like this video, and comment below. I will see you in the next part of the little spooky series. Bye.